Put your eyes back in your head.
I got like flavor.
What, nigga?
Pry their eyes open and force them to see the truth. We will skin the sheep and sacrifice the weak. The unholy alliance has arrived.
Yo, 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 yo. What a wonderful day. Yes, it is. Ow. Georgia, Texas boys, shout out to you for this special show for you. I got two topics on hand. I think the first one needs to be said. A lot of people not gonna like this. I don't give a damn. I really could care less, but they're not gonna like this. Because I've been seeing something the last few hours that I think personally, I think is problematic. I think it's weak. And it's exactly what I always say with Falcons fans. Y'all some goddamn bullies. And I bully bullies. It's weak. I think you should be ashamed of yourselves for the shit that you're doing. Yeah, you really should be ashamed of yourself. So, what exactly am I talking about? Tam, what's going on, brother? What's going on? My Alabama brother. Yeah, my mama was born in Alabama. All right, y'all. So I'm an old country hick at heart. I'm an AT alien, born and raised Grady baby, but spent a lot of my time with my family in Alabama. So, yep. Oh, great. So, whew. But I think this is something to really talk about before I get to the main topic. That I think this is it's weak just by Falcons fans. It really is weak. Mm-hmm. Yep. And they've already started. So I'm not gonna put the quote up, but I'm positive that you guys have seen the quote. And like I said, it's something that I have to speak on because again, personally, I think it's weak. All right, so obviously Kirk Cousins has been benched for obvious reasons. Now there has been quite a few players that have come out and spoke on this matter, and personally, I think for the most part, the Falcons players have really handled this situation properly. So one of the reasons why I've stated I'm saying that this is fans just being bullies is because Kyle Pitts said something that a lot of people have a problem with. And I have a problem with it. So what did Kyle Pitts actually say? What did Kyle Pitts say? When asked about Kirk's benching, Kyle Pitts stated, "I just work here, so I'm not really tuned into their decisions, just going out there and trying to get wins." Let me state that again, all right? Kyle Pitts, when asked about Kirk Cousins benching, he stated, "I just work here, so I'm not tuned into their decisions. Just go out there and trying to get wins." Well, Falcons fans decided that this was going to be a situation where they're going to say, "Well, I just don't like the way that he said. I don't like the way he said. I don't like what 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 Kyle Pitts said. I don't like what he said." Well, I got a fucking problem with you mugs. I got a problem with anything look like you guys are saying. This is why I have a problem with it. What the hell do you want him to say? What do you want him to say in this particular instance? That's what I want to know. What if this was an issue, him saying that he just works here and he just tries to go out here and get wins with a smile on his face when he said it? What do you guys expect him to say? For anybody that has a problem with what he said, I want to know what exactly what you have stated in this particular instance, what Kyle Pitts should have said. Since Falcons fans don't say, "Well, I just don't like what he said." And the general consensus, and not everybody, I'm not saying every Falcons fan, but there's a great deal of people, not only on Facebook, I mean, social media across the board, but Twitter is like I said, this is why a lot of people don't like Twitter, is because these guys go in there just to try to bully folks. And quite a few people, and I'm surprised that a lot of people that have stated this, is that I don't like what he said. He even sounds like he's quitting. How the fuck do you sound like you quitting in an interview? He said it with the exact same enthusiasm and tone that he always speaks in. But you people going out of your way just to find something to nitpick and pick on them. Because let's be real. A lot of y'all look at Kyle Pitts because he's not an in-your-face dude. He has a certain demeanor about him that says that he really doesn't care. I don't personally believe that, but I can see how that could be bothersome or worrisome for Falcons, a certain demographic or fans. I can see how that could be a problem. So in my opinion, in this situation, man, my thing is, what the hell you expect him to say? If that was such a bad statement, what do you guys expect him to say in that? I thought it was professional, Clay. I thought it was classy. I thought it was exactly what he needed. Because let's say if he would have came out and said, "Man, fuck Kirk, man. I've been out here blocking my ass off, running all these damn routes, and I'm not getting the damn ball." What if he would have acted like George Pickens? What would the general consensus surrounding that? "Oh, man, Kyle Pitts finally showing heart, all that type of stuff." Well, he did exactly what a true professional is supposed to do. And let's keep it real. All the media and all the fans wanted him to shit on Kirk Cousins. Why? Because he wasn't getting targets. Kirk Cousins has been playing like absolute garbage, and y'all was looking for a soundbite. Let's keep it real. That's the real reason why y'all upset. That he did not give y'all any bulletin board material, any sound bites to say, "Yep, this Falcons is a different man. Yeah, they gonna go in on somebody when they play bad. Yeah, that's a real NIGGA." That's what y'all looking for. That's a real one right there. That's a real dude. That's what y'all looking for. And this is exactly why I commend not only him, Ray McLeod, Justin Simmons, all these guys, they did exactly what they were supposed to. They're there to play games. They're there to do their job. The Falcons didn't hire them to give opinions about Kirk Cousins. The Falcons didn't draft these guys and sign these guys to contracts so they can talk about what the hell Kirk Cousins is doing. They're here for themselves. They're here for themselves and their self and their job. Self-awareness, be a part of a team, but do your job the best way you can. This is all about themselves. He's not here to sit up here and make money. He doesn't get paid to talk crap about Kirk Cousins. And the fact that this kid didn't give you guys bulletin board material, this is what you're really mad. This is why you're really upset with him. Y'all see an easy target in Kyle Pitts because you believe that he is a nonchalant dude and he doesn't care about anything and he didn't give y'all guys. So I'm saying to Kyle Pitts, man, you did a wonderful job on answering that. Justin Simmons did a wonderful job because all those guys could have said, look, man, we playing our ass off on defense and all the goddamn quarterback doing is throwing fucking interception. That pissed me off. They didn't give you that. They didn't kick a dude while he was down. Ray-Ray McCloud, Justin Simmons. And this is exactly what the Atlanta Falcons are trying to build. They're not trying to build a team where guys are just constantly taking verbal jabs at each other all the damn time, making the locker room uncomfortable because you don't like this or you don't like that. So when it all comes down to it, I think Kyle Pitts did a wonderful job, man. I think Justin Simmons did a wonderful job of handling this situation. I don't personally think that Raheem made a good decision in regards to the quarterback position. Maybe it was right, maybe it was wrong. I hold judgment on it depending on how everything pans out during the offseason, whether they can cut Kirk, trade him, whatever the case may be. I reserve judgment for right now because me personally seeing bad quarterback play, it gets me incredibly emotional. So I'm just going to reserve my thoughts on this because you're going to – I think it's important to reserve judgment right now because we got to see how Mike Penix is going to play at quarterback. If he ends up playing unbelievable football, then we'll know. If he ends up playing bad, then we'll know the truth behind Raheem's decision. So this is, I think this is or a situation where the Falcons, we're going to see why Raheem made the decision that he made in regards to Kirk Cousins, what keeping him in, whether or not he's, you kept him in. Is he ready? Is he not ready? Is he stayed in too long? We'll figure out. But I think this is one of them situations where we got to see Mike Penix first in order to get the real true answer. He has a nonchalant attitude about everything in football. That's not good. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that, Billy. That's an opinion. Some people just don't. Look, I know some stone cold killers who will bust your head in a heartbeat. And you will never say them dudes don't got, attitude and they can't get with it. Some people are naturally cool, calm, and collected until you piss them off, until you make them, feel a certain way or do something to them. Look, these people are snap at the instant. I know plenty of people like. So I don't think that Kyle Pitts is nonchalant in regards to football. Now, he may be nonchalant in how he talks and how he speaks, but when I see him on the football field, I don't see a guy that's nonchalant. I know I've seen something. I've seen plenty of players on the field when we talk about nonchalant. And I think we've all seen quarterbacks and wide receivers, defensive guy that just didn't care about anything. I've seen that. So I personally don't believe that he's nonchalant in regards to football, but off the field, I agree with you. He has that nonchalant attitude. But that's just him. I saw the interview, and what the hell do people expect the man to say? Cousins is a stand-up guy who called Penix after and was told that Penix was starting Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So Tim, like this is what I mean. It's like I don't know. At the end of the day, I know what they were asking for. Fans was asking the Atlanta Falcons players to go in on Kurt and say what everybody has been thinking, and that Kurt has pretty much thrown the Atlanta Falcons, and not him alone. There's been a lot of mistakes, and I think we've exhausted these talks, to be honest. But it was a main problem. You know, we scored one touchdown in a few games. We are not even looking at being in second place behind Tampa if he just throws a couple of touchdowns, if he throw less than two interceptions in the game. We're not talking about this. But so I think he did a lot. And so they all told the truth. They have a job to do, decide who quarterback ain't it. So, like I said, when you look at this Atlanta Falcons team, man, and how these guys conducted themselves, coaching staff, Zach Robinson, how he responded to this situation, I think they all did a wonderful job. So we're going to get into the main topic at hand, and shout out to Georgia Texas boy for this. The pros and cons of Michael Penix. And this is kind of a quarterback analysis for me, breakdown. Definitely going to get you guys comments on this. Oh, boy. So, Big Z, I got you. So, when I look at Michael Penix, now I had to do a little brief film work just to kind of reiterate, brush up on Michael Penix altogether. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. What to expect from this Atlanta Falcons offense? What are you guys going to see for this Atlanta Falcons offense? I got a few things written down as far as the pros and cons are concerned, and I'm going to break these things down. So I'm going to do it like this. So I'm going to give this to you guys first. All right, the pros. First thing that I see when I look at Michael Penix, man, first thing that comes to mind is his quick release. He gets the ball out quickly, and his willingness to dump the ball off to the guys short. The curl routes, the tight ends, the running backs, the second, third, fourth tight end, third, fourth, fifth wide receiver, running backs. Like, this dude don't give a damn who he throws the ball to. He's going to get that ball out of his hand, and he's going to get that ball out of his hand quickly. That's the first thing. When I look at Michael Penix and look at him as a quarterback, I like how he surveys the field and how he processes information quickly. That's something as a quarterback that you don't. That's not something that's not a normal. That's not something that's easily given. That's something that works over time, and you have to have a certain amount of snaps, not only in the NFL game but the college game. And this is why I thought when Patrick Mahomes was a quarterback in college, I thought he was the best quarterback coming out of the draft because you look at college, he had a lot of opportunities and snaps to throw the ball. A lot of quarterbacks, if you go back and look at guys like Trey Lance when he was drafted, I didn't think he was a good prospect. I thought he had good skills, but he didn't have the experience of throwing. You have to have that ability. You have to have multiple throws. You have to have multiple throwing attempts. Even in college, all the best quarterbacks throw the ball a lot. All right. You can't become a great quarterback if you don't throw tons of passes. And when you look at Michael Penix, look at Washington, this is exactly what it is. All of the best quarterbacks threw the ball a heck of a lot. Now, there are some instances where quarterbacks like Tom Brady, they don't get a lot of time. But even when you look at, him, he got that sitting behind a lot, Drew Bledsoe. And like I said, there are those guys that, that kind of, the Matt Ryans is another one of those guys that, like, he had a bunch of attempts in college. Obviously, he did what he did at Boston College, and I think they were like ranked at number 2 at one point in time. And Matt, he didn't have a lot of weapons, and it did well. But most of the great quarterbacks have opportunity to throw the ball. So when you look at Michael Penix, the fact that he gets the ball out of his hands quickly and he spreads the ball around, I think that right there is one of the pros that I absolutely love with him, because you look at guys like Kyle Pitts right now. The thing is that for me personally, what I saw under Kirk Cousins just lost his ability to spread the ball around. I don't know why that is. And maybe it's largely due to the fact that he is dealing with an injury that he does not want to admit right now. I think Kurt is in denial. Kurt is definitely hurting. And it may be that Achilles or a lower leg that is beginning to cause him a lot of issues. He's hurt. Don't believe anything that Kurt is saying. He's definitely feeling something. And any football player and any person who's a fan of the game, they look at Kurt and see something is wrong with him. Something is wrong with him. So when you look at this Atlanta Falcons team with Ray McCloud, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Darnell Mooney, you got guys like Bijan Robinson, Charlie Warner. All these guys have the ability to catch the ball out of the backfield and catch the ball. So when you look at all of the weapons that the Atlanta Falcons have currently, I think Michael Penix is probably the perfect guy at quarterback. Why? Because he does not discriminate. If you're open, he's going to get it to you. All right, so that right there is one of the first one that I saw the pros as far as Michael Penix is concerned. His quick release and getting the ball out of his hand. He gets the ball out of his hand quickly, and he get that son of a gun out there fast. He's an extremely fast processor for a guy that young in college. That's something that doesn't come easy. The second one that I see, obviously, his arm strength. I haven't seen this a lot. There's not a lot of quarterbacks that I've seen that have played for the Atlanta Falcons. And there's only one guy that I've seen, and this is why you guys see the picture. It's Vic. It's Vic all over again. I know some of my peers are not going to like me saying this, but it's Vic all over again. This dude can literally flicker the wrist, throw this son of a bitch 50 yards. This dude arm is freaking incredible. It's incredible. It's insane how talented of an arm he has. This is not something that is given to everybody. This is not one of those abilities that every quarterback has. This dude can literally flick the wrist. And I'm talking about with bad footwork, all of this, right? Doesn't matter. He can be falling backwards, and this dude can accidentally throw it 50 yards. This is how special his arm is. And he's going to test those safeties. He's going to test the safeties. These safeties are not going to be able to, for one, they're not going to do a couple of things. But the first thing that comes to mind me with these safeties, they're not going to be able to do the things that the Jesse base does, and that's cheat. Your safeties are going to have to be, they're going to have to be disciplined. And they're going to have to stay and not give their coverages away with a Michael Penix. Because if you give your coverage away with a guy like Michael Penix, like drifting to a side to cheat, Michael Penix going to make you pay. Why? Because he have the throwing strength and the arm talent to get the ball to a spot quickly with his arm strength. And this is why you draft quarterbacks like these guys, because if a safety is a cheater, he likes to jump on these routes, a guy like Michael Penix is going to make him pay. He's going to destroy safeties for cheating. He's going to destroy guys like Jesse Bates who like to cheat. He's going to destroy them. So you cannot do that with a guy like Michael Penix at safety. You can't cheat with him. So this is another pro when it comes down to Michael Penix, his arm strength, and he's going to take those safeties aggressiveness away. So we're going to see a lot of zone, and to be real, that's how you're going to have to play the Atlanta Falcons, is zone. And when you have a lot of zone, guess what opens up? The running game and the tight ends. So that's why you want a quarterback with a big arm like this. So when you look at Michael Penix, man, this kid he has the physical tools to be something special, but I love his attributes as far as what I'm saying. And one of the things too, another pro that I see with Michael Penix is that his speed. Now, this guy runs a 4.4, all right? This is pretty fast for a quarterback. Okay? This is problematic. And one of the aspects of this Atlanta Falcons team that has been a major concern and issue, and why the Atlanta Falcons have been so bad in the red zone, is that there's absolutely no threat in the red zone. If you have not seen and followed me on Twitter, I put out a clip where I show you a play where I think it's going to be huge for the Atlanta Falcons, not only in short yardage, but it's going to be huge in the red zone because of our right guard and our right tackle. These guys are absolute monsters. And I think having those guys, what Michael Penix, he has the athleticism, but he's a lot faster than what a lot of people, because he's willing to stay in the pocket. A lot of defensive guys kind of misjudge him because he stays in the pocket. They assume that he is a pocket passer, and they might be a little bit too aggressive. And a guy like Michael Penix, with his abilities, not only with his arm, but his ability to run, this guy can turn a missed tackle into a 40 yards and a 40-yard touchdown quickly. But he's deceptively fast. That guy is fast, okay? And this is an aspect of the Atlanta Falcons offense that a lot of former Vic fans, mobile quarterback fans, the Josh Allens, the Lamar Jacksons, all these guys, the Justin Fields, he's going to be able to do that. Well, it won't be as frequent as a lot of may like, but he's going to have that ability to make guys miss, and he's going to turn a 3rd and 5 blitz into a 20-yard run or possibly a 20-yard touchdown. He has that ability. So that's another aspect of this guy that I absolutely love. And we're going to get into the cons that a lot of people are looking at too, because we're not just going to look at all the good stuff. We got to look at the things that he has to work on. How you doing, T-Pan? Getting back to his ability to run. The thing is, for him, he's made a conservative effort to be a pocket quarterback and to stay in the pocket as long as he possibly can to process information and to be a quarterback. Those are the things that could be a detriment to him because he doesn't take off running first like most mobile quarterbacks. And yes, he is a mobile quarterback, but the thing is that what makes him unique is that he wants to be a quarterback. He has that mentality like a Patrick Mahomes. They do have the ability to run and make plays with their legs, but these guys want to be a quarterback. And it's not often that you see a lot of mobile quarterbacks that actually want to be quarterbacks. Guys that have that ability to run, they rely solely on their athleticism. Lamar Jackson is one of those. Justin Fields is one of those guys. There's quite a few guys in the NFL that rely on it. This is what makes right now Josh Allen an MVP, is because he's willing to use his legs to be a quarterback first. All right. He's no longer taking off first. He's no longer relying solely on his ability to run. He runs to be a quarterback. He only uses his legs to extend plays so he can get the ball to his receivers. And this is the thing with Michael Penix, that could be a detriment in certain situations, that he wants to be a pocket passer and he doesn't rely. And I've seen that in a lot of pressure packages. When he is pressured, he'll just stand in the pocket. He'll stand in the pocket knowing that he has the ability to run. He will stay in the pocket. And those are things that you can teach, have design runs or whatnot. But Michael Penix, he's more willing to stay in the pocket rather than use his athleticism. So that could definitely be one of those things that you look at Michael Penix, that he can that he's definitely going to be able to that's going to be frustrating. I don't want to use the word struggle, but in certain situations it can be frustrating because he does have the ability to run. To the footwork. The footwork for me for Michael Penix is damn near god awful. Because he has such a special arm and special arm talent. His footwork is horrendous. And this is one of the main reasons why I did not like the RPO, because the RPO just leads to bad habits. You're throwing off your back foot. RPO just not one of my favorite my favorite scheme. I don't like it long term as a main source of offense because it leads to bad habits. And this is one of the things, again, going back to college game, Michael Penix used a lot of quick screens, a lot of RPO concepts. All these things lead to bad habits in your footwork. So that's why a lot of NFL quarterbacks, Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, they're very anal when it comes down to the RPO and bad footwork, especially bad footwork. They do not like that. Now, like I said, the RPO is good in certain situations, but it doesn't have. It's only good when it's you're doing it here and there, and to kind of get your quarterback in the rhythm and whatnot, get your offensive rhythm. That's when you want to use the RPO. But when it becomes a mainstay, it leads to quarterbacks having bad habits and bad footwork. And this is what I'm saying for Michael Penix. His footwork is just god awful. And this is why you want guys like DJ Williams, TJ Yates, Zach Robinson, who's a former quarterback himself, to work with him on his footwork. And this is why you sit guys like Jordan Love down, Michael Penix. All these guys need to learn footwork, the proper footwork first. And it leads to bad, erratic. I've seen passes where he's throwing off his back foot and he's just lobbing the ball off. And he's trying to hurry the throw. And, he throws either too high or, he lobs the ball in the air. That's one aspect, too, when I look at Michael Penix. He does have a tendency when he's throwing that deep ball to lob it extra high. It's almost like Aaron Rodgers because his arm is so strong. Even a guy like Anthony Richardson, these guys' arms are so strong. We seen the video where Richardson threw the ball, to the roof and whatnot. That's because they have such a strong arm. Subconsciously, I think they try to do a little bit too much with their arm strength, and I don't think it's something that they do on purpose. Again, it's subconscious. He can just get a little bit too, I guess reckless is the right word. But he can lob the ball a bit too much with his arm strength. I think he has to kind of work on that. Again, this is why the footwork is very is extremely important. But it leads to bad habits, inaccurate throws with his footwork. And again, that's why the Atlanta Falcons did not. It has much more to do with young quarterbacks being sat for majority of the first year, to kind of sit back and look at veteran quarterbacks like Kirk Cousins and look at the footwork and how they throw, when to plant your back foot. All these things goes into it. So that's what leads to a lot of inaccurate throws with Michael Penix is his bad footwork. So got to look at I'm going to pay close attention until this game with Michael Penix, where he's going to see if he's worked on his those bad habits of his footwork, throwing off his back foots and all these types of things. He definitely needs to work on his foot hats. And another thing too that I saw, and I was watching a couple of games, but mainly the one against Michigan, I didn't like how he protect himself. I didn't like how he protect himself. Now he's doing a better job. I like how he protects himself when he's running. He does slide and he knows how to slide, unlike a guy like Michael Vick. Michael Vick couldn't slide, so he would just dive head first. And that just drive any quarterback and any coach crazy because obviously you don't want your quarterback diving head first. I mean, Tua Tagovailoa should know about that. We've seen this damn numbskull. So for me, I don't like how he protects himself when he's sacked. So for me, he needs to work on protecting himself and just get down. Like even if you're getting pressure and it's a sack and you see it coming, don't try to extend the play. Don't try to run and get an extra 5 yards to get the ball out of the backfield. Like just fall down. Just do what Tom Brady do. I'll oftentimes do what Matt Ryan do. Get your ass down. So I don't want my quarterback taking extra hits because he think he can get an extra 3 yards or he can get a first down. If you can get there, you can get there. But I think Michael Penix has to do a better job of protecting himself when he's pressured in the backfield. I don't like how he falls. That's just me. He has to learn how to protect himself a little bit more from those sacks. And like I said, quarterbacks just you can call it what you want. It's a punk move just to fall down and not look. You live to fight another day. The Falcons have enough weapons to make up for, a sack. So I like what I've seen that. With Mike Penix, and that's the last one before I get to the you guys' comments and questions. The last one that I've seen for Mike Penix is it's not so much a concern, but these are the things for what a young quarterback, because not only say a young quarterback, just a quarterback in general, because they do have the tendency to just get the ball to anybody and throw the ball to anybody. He's such a willing passer. If you're open, he's going to get it to you. I think the offensive coordinator has to may have to make a conservative effort to make sure that Michael Penix understands that he needs to get the ball to his playmakers, because he's so willing to spread the ball around to so many different weapons. This can be a problem because, for instance, It's 3rd and 4. We saw it against the Raiders. It's 3rd and 6. And this is no shot against Ray McCloud, but I'm 3rd and 6. I don't need to be, and this is a crucial down. This is a crucial moment. If I'm going to lose the game, I don't want to lose the game throwing that shit to Charlie Warner. I don't want to throw this shit to Tyler Algier in the flat. I want to lose the game throwing it to Drake. I want to lose the game giving it the ball to Bijan Robinson. I want to lose the game by giving the ball to Kyle Pitts. I want to get it to our playmakers. Okay? I don't want to see Ray McCloud and Rondale Moore and Ross Dwelly on 3rd and 6 getting passes. Okay? Because this is the type of quarterback that Michael Penix. If you're open, he's going to get it to you. So it can be I would say it can be an issue. I won't say problematic because obviously he knows how to get the ball. He can get the ball to anybody, but the offensive coordinator is going to have to drill that into his head to make sure when it's certain downs, you get that ball into your playmaker's hand. Get that ball into Julio's hand. You know what I'm saying? Get that ball into Roddy White's hand. Get that ball into Tony Gonzalez's hand. Get that damn ball into your playmaker's hand. So I think this is one of the reasons why you look at a guy like Zach Robinson. He has to be deliberate in how he wants his quarterback to not only process, but get the ball to a certain player. And I thought looking at Kirk Cousins the last 4 or 5 games, he just stopped getting the ball to the playmakers. He just kept throwing the ball to Ray McCloud. Like, bro, you out here running, you up here throwing balls to fucking Charlie Warner. I love Charlie. I love Ray, but I don't want to see Kirk Cousins throwing to them, getting 8 targets in the game. No. Get Ray about 3 to 4 targets a game. That's all he deserves. That's all he needs with these players. Not deserve, but that's all he needs with this many playmakers on your roster. I don't want to see Ray McCloud with 14, 15 targets, 10 targets. Absolutely not. Get that thing on ball into their playmakers' hand. So with that being said, you guys, I'll throw some y'all got some questions in there. Y'all can throw them in there right now. But that right there was the breakdown on the pros and cons of Michael Penix and what I expect from this Atlanta Falcons offense. And to just be real with it, I'm gonna say this, man. That's the reason why I put Michael Vick on this thumbnail. I chose this because this offense is going to be fun. Bro, hear what I say, y'all. This offense is going to be fun, y'all. You guys like the college game. A lot of people like the college offense. Y'all like the explosive plays in the passing game, the ability to run with the quarterback, the running game. Like everything about the college game is going to be this Atlanta Falcons offense. It's going to be explosive. It's going to be exciting. You're going to have the ability to be physical. They're going to have the ability to throw the ball deep down the field. This team is going to be absolutely electric. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be the most fun we've seen this offense. Yeah, 2016, but it's going to be electric, man. You're going to have a lot of big plays with a quarterback like this because, again, Mike Penix doesn't have the ability to not only throw, but he can run as well. And that's the aspect of the offense, even in the 16, that we did not have that we have now. The quarterback's ability to get outside the pocket and make plays with his leg. And that right there is what changes the game defensively. Guys can't sit back and blitz 6, 7 guys consistently. You're going to get destroyed by this team. You continuously blitz. All right? This team is going to be fun. There was a reason why they decided to bring Mike Penix in here. You're getting the best of both worlds with this quarterback. You're getting a guy that can stand in the pocket and you getting a guy that can use his legs and get first downs, get that touchdown in the red zone, those design runs, like he can do all of this. It's going to be fun, Falcon fans. This offense is going to be fun. And I like a lot of people not going to like this, but it's going to be similar to some Madden shit. Okay? It's going to be fun. Now, there are some cons as far as, obviously the protections. And this is why, again, I stated last night on the heavy hitters, this ain't about this year. This move to put Michael Penix in is not about so much this year. Obviously, the Atlanta Falcons and every team want to win every game. And yes, we do want to go to the playoffs. And then when we get into the playoffs, the Falcons do have the talent to be able to make some noise and beat every team. They have the ability to beat every bit. They have the talent to beat everybody. But this is about next year and how they're going to continuously build these pieces. Guys like Kyle Pitts, is he going to be able to fulfill that potential that we all think that he can be? Can he really be that unicorn? Can he really be that number one or number two target in this Atlanta Falcons offense? We're going to see that. We're going to see if he had chemistry with Mike Penix. We're going to see if we're going to need Tyler Algier in this offense a lot more. We're going to be able to see all of this. So when you look at Michael Penix, man, and this Atlanta Falcons offense, man, like I said, it's Caleb McGarry. We're going to figure out whether or not we need to have a right tackle. We need to draft another right tackle to be a pass protector more so than Caleb McGarry. And yes, Caleb McGarry does have the ability to play left tackle himself. They can switch him and Jake. Jake can play the right side of the field. I mean, they have these options. They have the option. Jake is a talented tackle. It's just going to take, reps for him to kind of get into playing right tackle versus left tackle with a guy like Mike Penix is the left-handed quarterback. So the Falcons could decide whether or not they want to switch those tackles, put Caleb McGarry on the left side and put Jake on the right side. The Falcons are going to have this is what these 3 games are about. So this is so much more deeper than just trying to get to the playoffs and win the last 3 games. The Atlanta Falcons have so many things that they have to focus on because the future is now with Michael Penix. The future is now. So again, it's about the pass protections. It's about the weapons that you have to put around Michael Penix because he is now the quarterback. It's about the offensive line. It's about the running backs. Do you need a power running back with a guy like Michael Penix? Do you need a running back like another running back like Bijan Robinson to back him up? You need, do you need a tight end like Charlie Warner to be more of a blocker than a pass receiver? Like, do you need receiving tight ends? Like, all these things in the next 3 games, you're going to find out what the Atlanta Falcons and what you need to put around Michael Penix. This is a whole offensive, I wouldn't say restructure, but you have to kind of retool it just a little bit as far as the offensive line. The receiving core, does he need more guys like Casey Washington? I see a lot of people in the comments saying about Casey Washington. Do we need more guys like Drake London? All of these things are going to be in factor with this particular aspect, with this offense. So it's not as simple as just, all right, the Falcons are just trying to win these 3 games. There's a lot of things that goes into, because let's say if this offense is explosive, well, this goes, let's just say this offense averages about 30 points a game. All right, 28, 25, 30 points a game. Let's just say what Michael Penix, they do that, and this is something that's consistent. Well, this tells you that you can kind of defensively, you can kind of cheat. I don't have to draft guys in the first round anymore. Yeah, I know they're people probably looking at me. I don't have to 5 guys in the first year, in the first round. because I got an offense that can get you what 25, 30 points a game. So the Falcons have the ability now, if the offense is explosive under Michael Penix, guess what they can do? They can start taking these defensive guys in the second and third, fourth rounds. They can start taking these DBs in the second, third, fourth rounds. So they can compile a bunch of draft picks, trade their first round pick, get a multitude of second, third, fourths, and just continuously build that defense with draft picks and cheap. I'm gonna say cheap free agent, but this is one of those things that you can do if you have an offense that's explosive like this. So that right there is when you look at this team in so many aspects, like this is what you're going to this is what you're going to, this is what you're gonna get in the last 3 games. So we got Jay Black, rise up, watch the offense with more verticals for Pitts and Ray McLeod. I mean, the Falcons, they don't. Any game, the Falcons are going to do that. The problem is with Kirk Cousins is that he could no longer throw the ball deep like that. So the Falcons' offense never stopped, but they never stopped with those routes. That's a part of Zach Robinson's scheme. And that's why I say if you look at Michael Penix, this offense was really designed for him. So we're going to do exactly what we've always been doing, but we're going to see more of that. That's for sure. That we're definitely Michael Penix is going to be more willing than Kirk Cousins to throw those deep passes. So yes, I'm more worried about Matthews than McGarry. Like I said, it's just for offensive coordinator too. This is why I say it's so much more deeper than just Michael Penix and winning game. This is so much more important than winning game because now you got to look at where you have to line Bijan Robinson up as far as blitz pickup and whatnot. He may not. He may have to, stay on the backside with Caleb McGarry a lot more. You may have to put a tight end and wide receivers on inside. All of these things. So you're gonna have to scheme up a new pass protection scheme to kind of get this quarterback, get him comfortable. Everything is going to change as far as protection is concerned. You may have to slide to the right a little bit more, slide to the right, slide to the left, or you may have to boot him to the left side a lot more to get away from a guy like Caleb McGarry that's going to be his backside. So you may have to do a lot of, you may have to do more screens, more quick passes until you kind of, figure out whether or not you need another right tackle to be his blindside protector. All these things you're going to figure out in these last 3 games what you need to do more of under Michael Penix because he's a left-hander. Everything has to change. But on the positive side of that, the defenses are going to have to change how they attack this Atlanta Falcons offense. In my opinion, it's going to give them a lot more. It's going to give them an advantage because now they're going to have to take that plan that they had for a right-hand quarterback. They're going to have to give the Falcons the Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins treatment because now you have to flip all your pressure packages. You're going to flip all of your coverages, your blitz, all of this. All this has to change now because you have a left-hand quarterback. So the Falcons are going to have a lot of advantages when it comes down to, just the scheme right now. So all this goes into it, man. All of this goes into it. He said Zach already said they're not changing. Well, he don't need to change. The offense is designed for him. Understand how to listen, sir. Listen. The offense is designed for Michael Penix. He doesn't have to change it. Kirk is the one that was struggling because the offense wasn't designed for him. This is why guys like Dan Orlovsky kept saying, "Why are you not throwing a lot of play actions because the offense was never designed for Kirk Cousins. It was designed for Michael Penix, so he doesn't have to change it. He doesn't have to change the offense because it was created and designed. He came here for Michael Penix. They did not come here for Kirk Cousins. Hate to say it. I hate to say it, a lot of people. No. I know what you're saying, but again, he's going to have to change it. He's not going to tell you that he's going to change it. Ain't nobody going to give you away the game plan. He's going to have to change it because this is a left-handed quarterback. So you're going to have to change protection schemes. That's just common sense. The thing is, like I said, you just got to get in the habit of you're just going to have to flip. You're just going to have to flip a lot of things. Like I said, the Falcons are going to have a lot, man. Like I said, this offering going to be fun, man. I think we so worried about, the tackle, and I'm not saying you. I'm saying there's not one person, but a lot of people are so focused on the tackle. But bro, this run game going to be this run game for the Atlanta Falcons have picked up another element. They're not going to be able to stand there. They're not going to be able to stand on and sit on those edges like they've been sitting on those edges with Kirk Cousins. So when you talk about it, a lot is going to have to change. Yeah, Storm Norton is a guy that plays well. No, I didn't say that was going to happen. I said that's something that they could be thinking about. Because let's say if Caleb McGarry is terrible, now you have to think about whether or not Jake is going to swap, or do they need to draft another right tackle to be his blind side. All these things you're going to have to think about now. These are talking points. This is the exact conversation that they even have themselves, and whether or not we need to do this or do that. You don't think these Falcons general managers and scouts are thinking about these? They are thinking about this. Why? Because you got guys like Chris Hinton, Storm Norton, who can play both sides. Like, you think about this. You think about what you can do. This is why you want athletes on the offensive line and the defensive line, because you can put those guys any and everywhere. So if this guy goes down, I may have to do this and I may have to do that. So these guys are thinking about this. Zach ain't a fool. He's not going to tell you. He's not going to tell you exactly what he's thinking. Why the thumbnail of Michael Vick? Because this offense is going to be fun like the Vick era. There are going to be aspects of Michael Penix's game that's going to remind us of the Mike Vick era. The ability to run. No, he's not going to be super exciting. No, he's not going to rush for 1,000 yards like Mike Vick. That's not going to happen. But there's going to be aspects of Mike Penix's game that reminds me of Michael Vick. Again, it's arm strength, it's arm talent, his ability to run. No, he's not Michael Vick as far as the electric, him being electric or a pretty good runner. Because obviously Mike Vick is the most talented mobile quarterback there ever been. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But those are aspects of Mike Penix's game that's going to remind us of that Mike Vick era. Yeah, it's probably another reason starting Penix to get an old tackle. Like I said, we don't know. We don't know. Again, you can change the pass protection, so you may not need to do anything, because I think Caleb McGarry can hold up. I think Jake can hold up. like I said, we have some pretty good deep some tight ends that are very good at pass protection. There are things you can do offensively to get the ball out of his hands, so you won't have to worry about pass protection as much. So they probably won't do anything. They probably won't do anything at all with Penix as far as the offensive line as far as changing people's positions. But we don't know. This is why we're playing these last 3 games, to figure out what happens, because we don't know how a lot of these guys are gonna react to a left-handed quarterback. I remember a conversation when it came down. I did an interview with Kenny Fournette. One of the things that he said that he, as an offensive lineman, playing with a guy like Michael Vick frustrated him because he didn't know if Mike Vick was going to be in the spot. So he had to carry. It was an ever changing. It was ever changing with him because he didn't know if Mike Vick was going to be in this spot, because offensive linemen need to know where your quarterback is in order to be consistent. So with a guy that can run, it frustrates you because you don't know it. And that's why you look at, what I'm seeing with Lamar Jackson this year. A lot of his runs are designed, but they're kind of controlled runs. He catches a lot. I want to say, the thing is, he runs. It's not a lot of bootlegs. A lot of his runs are him standing in one spot in the shotgun in that pistol, and he deciding where he wants to go. But he's standing at one spot. So it's more controlled runs with Lamar Jackson now that I'm seeing. But when I look at Penix, I look at Tua Tagovailoa. That's what I see when I see him. But that TG, this is, again, it goes what I'm talking about with Michael Penix. You're getting the best of both worlds with this guy. So as an offensive coordinator, this is going to be fun for Zach Robinson. He's going to be able to open up his bag of creativity a little bit more, because you can't do certain things with Kurt. It got to a point, even Jude talked about this, it got to a point where Kurt wouldn't even stand. He would just stand in the same spot for 3, 4, 5 seconds. He wouldn't even move. So now the Falcons have the ability to not only move the pocket, but they move the quarterback, have design runs. All these things coming to him. So he's going to be able to do a lot more things. Carlo said he's Mike Vick influence. He said he is his favorite quarterback. Yeah, quite a few of the Falcons. Look, man, if you're not a Vic fan, man, I don't know what you're doing in your world. I don't know how you don't like football. I don't even know how you're a football fan if you don't like Mike Vick. Now, of course, it becomes, what if Kurt don't want to be traded? I mean, he wants to be traded. Have no reason why. It don't matter at this point if he don't want to be traded. He's gone. The Falcons still have a plan, even if he doesn't want to be traded. That's why they structured the contract. They front loaded the contract so the contract wouldn't be as a problem as it is, as big as most. They front loaded a lot of his money. So what happens if Kurt says, all right, I'm gonna play hardball. Y'all not just gonna get rid of me. I'm gonna make y'all pay for it. Well, the Falcons still have 3 years after this particular year to spread that dead cap money out. So Greg Beatles, Terry Fontenot, those guys did a great job with this contract. The defense can no longer cheat in any back in the anyone in the backfield. And like I said, that's the thing too with that pistol formation. Even with Tyler Algier, teams started to cheat because they know if they crashed in on the linebacker, they know Kurt ain't finna go nowhere. So it makes that pistol formation for the Falcons that they want to run so much that much more dangerous, because Michael Penix can get outside and he can take it for 20, 30 bucks. That's another element to the offense that it's going to be good. And yeah, Kurt is there. Kurt ain't never like being a backup. He's not finna sit behind Michael Penix and just do nothing. Nah, it ain't happening. Yeah, like I said, all y'all got to do is just look at the money. The money will tell you everything about who's going to be here and who's not. Follow the breadcrumbs. Follow the money. The money will find you. The money will tell you everything you need to know. Rondale Moore, 1-year contract. Darnell Mooney, he signed a 3-year, was essentially a 2-year contract. You look at Kyle Pitts right now. They gave him a 5th-year option, so they do have a plan for him being here, but he's going to have to prove it. Tyler Algier is another one of those guys. So, like I said, it's you can quite possibly see the Atlanta Falcons take. Well, I know they're going to take a wide receiver somewhere in their 1st and 2nd round. I know this for a fact. You don't bring a quarterback in here. You know, Ray McLeod, I think he's going to be a free agent. Rondale Moore, free agent. They're going to draft another wide receiver. Whether it's in the 1st round, I don't know. But I know in those first 2 rounds, they're going to get a wide receiver. That right there. But the Falcons, how Terry Fontenot has designed and kind of structured his team, most of the players on this team are on they don't have a lot of guys that are on 4-year deals. It's most of the players, the core players, are on 3-year deals. So what that does for the Atlanta Falcons, even if they have to cut somebody, the dead cap hit is not going to be as long. It's not going to be as problematic as most teams. That's how you kind of get yourself in a lot of cap trouble, because you got all these guys on 3-year, 4-year deals, and then you giving them so much money, and now you stuck with that contract because a lot of teams don't front load their deals. So a lot of them, we see it right now with the Saints. I think they got like $78 million in dead cap because they kept pushing money back. Well, Terry Fontenot don't do that. They got a lot of guys on 1-year and 2-year deals. So the salary cap is not going to be as big of an issue as we think. So, like I said, it's about, I think, the dead cap. If they just outright decided to cut him, they can't find a trade partner, it's about $65 million. And like I said, you can, for the remainder of the contract, which is about 3 years, somewhere between, they can decide to pay a little bit more each year, but 26 million a year. Yeah. If they decide to pay the same amount each year, it could average out about like 25, 26 a year. If they do it that way. No, it won't be stupid. No, it's not stupid at all. You can still the thing is, you can still go out and get free agents, and you can get some pretty good players in the 2nd and 3rd rounds. Because the thing is, you got to understand too, it's not stupid if your quarterback is, you want to be able to get your star players and the most dominant side of the ball, more athletes. Right now, the most dominant side of ball and what's going to carry this team is offensively. You can bring in a free agent to a veteran or two, get 5 to 7 sacks, develop young guys, in the second, third, fourth rounds. I mean, if you be honest with it, like that's what the Steelers have been doing for years. Just because you draft guys in the first round don't mean they're gonna be good. I think we should know that by now. Us drafting quite a few defensive guys in the first round and they not panning out. I mean, Tack McKinley is one of them. So just because a guy is drafted in the first round don't mean he's going to be successful. It's all about getting the right coaching and to develop those guys. So even if they drafted in the first or second or third round, that doesn't mean that he is going to be successful. So, like I said, me personally, how I see it, when you have a special player, whether it's on the defense side of the ball, Richie Grant is gone too. All right, he definitely gone. But if you have an offensive guy, defensive guy, you want to build around that particular guy. That's how you build champions. That's how you build great defensive teams. Is find a guy that is special. And like with Grady, for instance, Grady's a guy that needs a running mate. So what the Falcons would have to do to make sure that they get the most out of Grady Jarrett, well, they got to put a defensive tackle, they got to put a defensive end, they got to put a linebacker that can cover space quickly. Offensively, let's say Michael Penix, he likes a running back that can get in space and make guys miss, rather than guys that rushes for power. Like that's the type of guy that he is. He likes more physical wide receivers, guys that can go up and get it, like a Kyle Pitts and Drake London. He may not like smaller wide receivers. So you want to build around that star player. That's how you win championships. That's how the Rams, you see every year they're able to find a guy that can play with it because they building off of a guy like Aaron Donald. You build off of your star player. You don't try to draft a superstar every year. You find that star, figure out who that superstar on the offense is, and you build around him. Same thing with the defense. That's how you build a roster. But oftentimes, a lot of fans think, you try to get a superstar every draft. That's not. You try to draft each guy that's going to complement each particular player. Do you think Penix needs to do this season is be a game manager, get the ball consistently? Yeah, this confidence. What you saw, what you need to see or focus on, what needs to happen with Michael Penix is the same thing that you saw with Sean Payton and Bo Nix in Denver. Just get the ball out of his hand quick, rely on the rushing game, rely on the defense because our defense playing look much better as of late. Rely on the defense to get pressure, get sacked, get turnovers. Get that ball into Bijan and Tyler Allgeier's hands. Run the ball, run it rock. Rely on that offensive line. Be physical. Occasionally let him throw a deep pass, but don't try to do too much. Just give him confidence. Build his confidence. We have a top 5 offensive line. We have a top 3 rushing running back. That dude got over 1,300 all-purpose yards. The dude is a freaking stud. So Michael Penix doesn't have to do nothing, to just do what he does. Get the ball in hands, complete, run the offense, be a leader, but get that ball into Bijan's hand. Get that ball into Pitts and Drake and all those guys' hand. Get the ball into those plays. Get the ball to Mooney. Get that ball into his hand. That's all he has to do. Just run the offense. Falcons have enough talent to carry Penix until he figures it out. Gary only give her 5 sacks this season with a statue in the pocket. Like I said, it's a miracle that the Falcons didn't give up more sacks with Kirk Cousins. To be honest, that dude wasn't moving at all. Look, y'all be so in y'all feelings. Y'all don't even know the facts. Other team offensive linemen are not that great, but y'all just be so focused on this team. Just do your homework on other teams, and then you come back and look at their numbers, and you'll say, well, damn, the Falcons aren't that bad. So just do your homework on the Atlanta Falcons. Just go look at other teams. Don't even look at Falcon teams. Just look at other teams' numbers, and you'll see why we're saying this. You'll see why we're saying this in regards to this Atlanta Falcons offensive line. Get out your feelings when it comes down to your personal feelings about each particular player on this team, and look at other teams' players and their stats and their numbers, and you realize, like, oh, well, damn, the Falcons aren't as bad as I thought they were. Caleb McGarry isn't as bad as I thought he was. Drew Dahlman isn't as bad as I thought he was. Ray McLeod is a whole lot better, is a fourth option on the team than most guys. Because we be so fixated on our talent, we don't look at everybody else. Falcons have the number 3 passing game in the league. But since we want guys like Kyle Pitts to have 1,000 yards, we don't realize that Kyle Pitts is one of the main reasons why we're able to do and run a lot of schemes that we're able to. Because teams are so focused on him not beating them. Guys like Ray McLeod, Mooney, all these guys see him one-on-one matchup. You leave Mooney in one-on-one with anybody, he gonna make it do what it do. And we know what Drake can do by himself. We saw it. Hey, bro, right here. This right here. Look at that Giants offensive line. You're going to see that real soon. So, I know guys like, Judon has frustrated us in certain aspects. Kyle Pitts has frustrated us. Kirk, even the kicker in itself. Even the kicker in itself, Younghoe Koo has been. We may be looking for another kicker. So, like I said, it's a lot of stuff that goes into this, man. It's like, it's gonna be fun. The defense should be able to get 6 sacks. Look, that oh boy, that Giants offensive line is bad, bro. So it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun out there. It's definitely going to be fun watching the team. Like I said, man, look, stop just focusing on the Atlanta Falcons and look at other teams. When you look at other teams and look at their numbers and look at where they rank, you will see that the Atlanta Falcons aren't as bad as we think they are. Yeah, they coach is terrible. He has no business as a head coach. He shouldn't even be calling plays. Yeah, I think realistically it's about 3 for me. My opinion, about 3 sacks. That's the number that I'm looking at for this Giants team. Should I start Mike over Cooper Rush? Nope, I wouldn't. No, I would not do that. I would go with Cooper Rush, to be honest. I think they playing the Bucs. The Bucs secondary kind of weak. They get a lot of pressure, but they give up a lot of passing yards. So I would start Cooper Rush, to be honest. Yeah, that's what me personally, I would do it. I'm not relying on Michael Penix to come out here and have 250 and 300 yards. I'm not looking for that. It could happen, but to be honest, Cooper Rush is a quality quarterback. Yeah, I'm going with Cooper Rush against that Bucs secondary, to be honest. I think they playing. Yeah, I think they playing them, if I'm not mistaken. Kevin been doing the right thing since he got here. In my opinion, us having Penix at a crucial time in the season just made me proud. Like I said, man, a lot of people looking at Terry Fontenot and saying that his job is to get the coaches what they want. The coaches wanted Kirk Cousins. It didn't work out. But there's been just as many positives that there's been just as many positives as negatives. That's just the NFL game. You're going to have a lot of negatives. You're going to have more negatives and positives a lot of time in the NFL game. But you got to take those positives and build off of them. I think we had 3 in the first half, Mike. They down to 3 strings. Wow. I didn't know that. I knew they had trouble offensive line, but they down to 3rd string. Yeah, that's bad. No problem, King B. Like I said, man, our edge rushers have stepped up on the Ebiketie. He's done a wonderful job stepping up. I see from Caden Ellis. He's showing the Falcon that, he's going to be here next year with a possible extension if he continues to be that linebacker that we use in our pressure packages to get after the quarterback. He can do that. I like what I'm seeing from D'Angelo Malone, Zach Harrison, Ruke. Like, those guys are showing me something. Falcons have something to build on, man. They definitely have something to build on. Jay, what's going on, man? Yeah, AK, Ellis, Malone. Now, there's going to question. For me, there's a question out there. I don't know this to be true, but a lot of people saying that Jerry Gray has stepped in to help Raheem and Jimmy Lake with a lot of his because I think I didn't see it myself, but a lot of people said they saw Jerry Gray on the sideline kind of huddling up the defense and talking to those guys. So I'm assuming that Jerry Gray played a huge part in this defense and kind of get these guys ready. So he's the assistant head coach for the Atlanta Falcons. So look, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Jerry Gray, Jimmy Lake, or Raheem. I need to continuously see what we're seeing right now. Right now, Raheem, Jimmy Lake, Jerry Gray, those guys are doing their job when it comes down to seeing growth for the defense. All I want to see is growth. And I'm seeing growth. It came later than I would like, but hell, we see it. We're seeing growth. That's all I care about is growth. We're going to see Braden Trice next year. He get those. He get that. Do you think we should be more explosive? Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, this is going to be one of those offenses that remind you of the Mike Vick era. No, he's not Mike Vick. And I'll say he's more the Mike Vick in Philadelphia than he's going to be in the Mike Vick in Atlanta. You're going to see this. This is what Mike Penix is. Mike Penix is more so the Mike Vick in the Philadelphia, with Andy Reid, than he is the Mike Vick in Atlanta. That's what I should have said. So, yeah. So, like I said, it's going to be exciting, man. Yeah. Like I said, Mike would occasionally run out of pocket, but Andy Reid had him standing in there delivering that thing. That's what I think this Atlanta Falcons offense is going to be awful, like the Mike Vick era in Philadelphia that we never truly got to get. We're going to get that from Michael Penix. Like I said, it won't be as many runs. Like I said, the Philly Mike Vick is what I think what we're going to get with Michael Penix. occasional run, but he's going to stand in that pocket, deliver. You're going to have design runs for first down. You're going to have the rollouts and the bootleg, the shots downfield. That's what we're going to get. So if y'all want to see what this Falcons offense could be, go watch that Philadelphia Eagles Mike Vick offense, and I think that's what we're going to get. Because, like I said, I've already seen a little film on him. Going to keep studying Mike Penix a little bit more than what I've already done, but that's what I'm seeing in him. This offense is going to be a college-style offense, and that's what the NFL wants, and that right there is going to sell. So that's why I said, buckle up, Falcons fans. It's going to be a fun offense. And don't be surprised the Atlanta Falcons bring in one of those RPO quarterbacks in the drafts. All right. So I'm going to start that in a few weeks, putting out a few quarterbacks that I think is going to be, good for the Falcons. I think they're going to draft another young quarterback that's going to be similar to him. That's just my personal opinion. But I'm about to close it out. We got the 6-man combo tonight, 6 o'clock for Kyle. Not Kyle Pitts. What the hell am I, Kyle Pitts? But we got the 6-man combo tonight on 6-man live. So that being said, I'm out of here, man. I'm out of here. Appreciate everybody for joining, everybody with the comments. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Like I said, it's gonna be fun watching this Falcon team. I promise you that. It's gonna be fun. You got a young quarterback that can move around, who's willing to stay in the pocket. And we had a quarterback that did not want to move out of this spot. He was like an old 78-year-old, 80-year-old guy that's sitting in that chair all day long. That's what so we're going to have some fun with this offense. Don't be surprised they put up big numbers, but temper your expectations a bit. That's what I would say. Temper your expectations, but don't be surprised if this is one of those instances where the Falcons offense really show what they can do. So with that being said, man, this has been your boy, man, Mike. Continue to support everybody who's affiliated with this brand. Shout out to Smitty Sports Machine, all those guys doing a wonderful job with Falcon content. Man, hit that subscribe button, y'all. It will not hurt to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, it helps us a lot. Okay? It truly helps us a lot. If you fuck with us, if you fuck with NFL content, you fuck with wrestling, hit that goddamn subscribe button. Subscribe. That being said, man, that's all I got to say about that. Why? Because Mad Mike said so.
Put your eyes back in your head.
Like flavor.
Pry their eyes open and force them to see the truth. We will skin the sheep and sacrifice the weak. The unholy alliance has arrived.